What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So it's Gotham night. That means go check out the latest episode, and I kind of dug this one. It was a good episode. Was it as good as the last few? Probably not. I think they sort of stepped back a little bit on some of it, but it was still good. It was still good. I had a good time watching it. We got an introduction to a new sort of, I guess, a new villain. He's a little, a little simple at this point, but Solomon Grundy. His look, like you still just see Butch. You still just see Butch as just really pale. But I'm kind of glad that Solomon Grundy's there. I just think they could have maybe, I don't know. He's just not built the way that you would kind of want Solomon Grundy to look. I don't know. Kind of looks like the old school Hulk a little bit. That's what got me. But it was kind of cool to see Solomon Grundy. And yeah, the whole poem and that was cool, and his sort of little relationship with Nigma is gonna be interesting. Definitely the muscle and the brains type thing, but it was an interesting story. But mainly this episode was all about Bruce. And it was a big learning episode for him, basically surrounding the big rule of Batman, right? Which is, you do not kill. You don't take a life. No matter what, you don't kill, because that's the line that we walk. That's the line that superheroes walk. And if you cross it, well, then you can go down a really dark path. And that's what this entire episode was flirting with Bruce. And I think they did somewhat of a good job. Bruce definitely still reeling from the death of was it Andy? Still reeling from the kid's death, with Ra's killing him, and some weird stuff going on with Ra's too. It was interesting what they were doing with him. So we finally figured out what this knife, why it's so important to Ra's, and it's because it's the only thing that could technically kill him. It's the knife that he killed the guy that found him. I think the first head of the demon's head. It was the knife that he killed the first demon's head with, and became him. Became what he was, and it's technically the only thing that can kill him. And I gotta say, the more I see of this Ra's al Ghul, I quite like him. I think it's the look. His look is very, very good. It looks very much like I saw a younger Ra's until it gets to obviously the Batman ages and stuff. And yeah, basically it's a choice that Bruce has to make. Like, do I kill this guy who's clearly someone very evil, and I'd be doing the world a favor if I killed him, and all the rest of it. And he gets pushed into this. Essentially, he gets pushed. He makes the decision that he's going to do it, and he puts the suit, proto Batman suit on, and he breaks into Blackgate prison very easily. When I was watching it, it's like a lot of coincidences. Like, doors were left open. A guard's badge was sitting right there. The exact position of where he is is there, and like where Ra's is and all that. It's like, Bruce, you got to learn to like pick up the whole hint of, this is far too convenient. This is Blackgate prison. This is one of the most secure, probably the most secure prison in Gotham. Though lots of people break out of it all the time, but it's big. It's not easy to break into, and yet you do it, and you're just a kid, and you're really just learning. And he basically goes there and confronts Ra's, and Ra's basically begs him to kill him. He's like, look, I'm stuck in this limbo, and like they showed a reflection of what he looks like, and he's like real sort of like zombie looking like, and he's begging Bruce to kill him, like, release me from this curse and all that. And Bruce chooses not to. He's like, no, I won't do it. I won't do this. I won't kill you. And it's sort of like the first time that Bruce sort of, because Ra's is always trying to get Bruce to kill him because, with Batman, he wants Bruce to become his heir, and it's the same in the comics, same in everything. He's always trying to get, you have to kill me. Like, come on, like this, this is what you have to do. You have to kill me and ascend to become the next Demon's Head. This is what you have to do. And this was kind of the first sort of like confrontation between these two, which was quite cool, where he's literally saying, you have to kill me. And then he gives him like a no options sort of thing where he says, all right, you don't kill me, I disappear. I wait. I let you live your life. You become a husband, father, all the rest of it. You get to the point where you don't even remember I exist. And that's when I'll come back. And I'll kill everyone. I'll kill everyone that you care about. Every single one of them. And you won't be able to stop me. That's the sort of egging on that he's doing to Bruce. And Bruce straight up turns around and kills him. Straight up turns around and kills him. And at the moment that he did it, I was a little like ticked off. I was like, man, I wish you stuck to that resolve that you had. This is like the moment where you were tested the most and you still made that decision not to kill him. And and that would get on Ra's, and that would like really kick Ra's into his next phase of his plan. But Bruce ends up doing it. But later on, I kind of thought about it and I was like, no, this is going to be the moment where he's at that point. Like maybe he has like the Joker at the point where he could literally, kill him right then and there. But he would remember this moment where he failed at, being strong enough not to kill these guys. And he would use that as a learning moment. I liked it, the further I got away from that moment, just to think about it a little bit. And I think the scene at the end as well with Bruce and Alfred where, Bruce is going to burn the sort of proto-Batman suit and he's going to give up on being the vigilante and all that. And Alfred goes, no, give that to me. This is something that is very, like, this is what you were meant to do sort of thing. And when you're ready to wear it again, when you think you're worthy of wearing it again, you come back from, this dark road that you've gone down, this will be waiting for you. And I'll be here to help you, sort of thing. It's, Alfred seeing that Bruce can make a difference. And Bruce, this idea of, this vigilante, this, hero that Gotham needs, it's something that I think, Bruce needs and Gotham needs. And Alfred's, I'm glad Alfred's on board. I really am. And I think that's a big thing that they've done with this season is Alfred stopped being this point where Bruce is constantly butting heads with and is now starting to realize that, no, this is something that Bruce needs to do. And I have to help him. And by helping him, I'm actually keeping him safer than what he would be if he was doing it by himself. So I'm glad that they've kind of adjusted that relationship just a little bit. And it's not like a yes sir type relationship. It's a, I understand that this is something that you need to do and I'm going to help you. I may not agree with you in what you're doing, but I'm going to help you and help you stay safe as much as I can, sort of thing. So the highlight for me for Alfred was when he came into Blackgate with Jim to try and find Bruce. And the guard's like, okay, you have to hand over your weapons. It's part of the deal. And, Jim hands over his gun and maybe, all the rest of it. And Alfred just keeps pulling out weapons. He's like, gun, knife, other knife, it just keeps coming. And it's like, oh my God, I love you, Alfred. You're so good. I love that. I love that part. But yeah, it was that. I think the whole stuff with Bruce went down. At first I didn't like it. At first I was like, man, I wish you stuck to your convictions, and you really embraced that promise of not killing people. And then really stuck to it. But obviously, they went the other direction. But I kind of understand that now too, that it will be a moment where he will look back on when he really needs it, when he's at that point where, man, I really want to kill the Joker, and he won't do it because he remembers that feeling. So I can understand why they did it. I can understand that. But the problem is that I don't think we're going to see Vigilante Bruce for a little while. I think, again, it's going to go back to Bruce trying to deal with this killing thing and all that. But honestly, I don't think it's really a death. It's not a death. So, the whole Ra's like sort of shriveling up and all that, I think he wanted that. But I think it's got to do with what he did to Barbara. So he did something with Barbara. He sort of sent an energy into Barbara. And I think he put some of his life force into her at some point. Or, I don't know, somehow he's going to be able to come back because Barbara has something. So maybe Barbara goes to his body, like the leftover body of Raish and all that. And the energy that he gave her will go into the body and he'll come back. Or maybe the energy will come out of the Lazarus pit. I don't know. But he's not dead. He's not dead. You can't kill off Ra's al Ghul that easily. It doesn't work. And he wanted it. And Ra's al Ghul doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to die. There's a lot more that he wants to do. So, no, I highly expect Ra's to be back. I expect Ra's to be back in force. Now he's not, bound by this knife. He's not bound by this, prophecy that he has to, be killed by Bruce. Now he's free, This is always something that's been on him because he saw his death. But now he's free. Now he can do whatever he wants, sort of thing. So, I expect Ra's back. Probably, around mid-season maybe. But like little bits popping up here and there. I'd be surprised if he's back next week. I really would. So then you go to the other story that's been going on, which is Penguin and Sophia Falcone. And I gotta say, I really like Sophia. I think, she's sort of this femme fatale type character that's interesting. And she has, this, connection to Gotham because of being a Falcone. And you can see it around in the way people react to her. I like it. And I like how, it would have just been boring if Carmine came back and just unleashed, started a war with Penguin. It would just be more of the same, It's just be more of the same. But what I'm thinking is, right, is Sophia is like she's laying the foundation for Carmine to come back. She's getting Penguin where she wants him. She's finding out what he has, like what's his, what's his weaknesses, how many men does he have, stuff like that. While Carmine's off figuring out his moves and what he's going to do and what he's bringing in. And then once Sophia has everything set and the trap set and all that, boom, trap set shut. Penguin's trapped. Here comes Carmine. And Carmine will kick him off his throne. I honestly think that's what's happening. I extremely doubt that they would kill off Carmine Falcone. I really doubt it. And I just think that Sophia, they planned this. Sophia was always meant to come down to Gotham and was always meant to set the stage for when Carmine comes back. I really do. I don't think Sophia's going to be the one to take over. I just think she's just not that way. I think she likes this whole, manipulating things into what they, what she wants. But I really like Sophia. I like how, he's using Penguin's mother as his major weakness, which she is. She is his major weakness because it makes him feel the emotions which he would normally keep trapped down, and it gets him out of his head, and it can it blinds him to what's happening around him. So it's a good move by her, and I like it. I really do. And yeah, that's what I think. I think that's what Sophia's going to end up being, is this sort of the first stage of Carmine's return to Gotham. And then I guess the third story that happened through this one was Nigma. Starts off with Nigma, and he's held up this pharmacy, and he's trying to find pills to help restart his mind, get his mind working again. And, he's so far gone at this point that he fails to hold up this drugstore. Like, the pharmacist tricks him into just grabbing these like sugar, I think like the sugar tablets or something like that. And he doesn't even have a real gun. And the pharmacist is like, come on, man, seriously? It's like, you wasted my time for this sort of thing. Like, he's just done with it. He's like a typical Gotham, shop owner who probably gets held up like 3 times a freaking day. And he's like, seriously, man? Come on. And he just like, it shows how far Ed's dropped. How far gone he is because his mind's just completely fried right now. And, sort of really down on the dumps, here comes along Solomon Grundy. So at the start of the episode, we sort of see Butch getting put into this lake because Gotham General needs, room in the like the morgue or something. So they just dumped them in the lake. It's typical Gotham, right? It's typical Gotham. It's very much like what you would expect. And the guys like dump him off in this lake, and it's full of Indian Hill chemicals, and creates Solomon Grundy. And it's cool to see Solomon. I'm glad that Solomon's there. Like I said, his look, not all that good. Not all that good. Kind of like I said, kind of looks like the old school Hulk, from the Hulk TV series and all that. He just doesn't look quite right. But then he sort of has this little buddy relationship with Nigma, and Nigma's obviously using him for his muscle, and they go to this. Well, at first they're like the country bumpkins that Solomon first runs into, and they're listening to like the poem, like this sort of song of Solomon Grundy sort of thing, and that's where he gets his name from, and that's quite cool. It's a nice cool thing for Solomon, for the whole Solomon Grundy character. And then it basically turns into the Ned and Ed and Grundy sort of partnership, and they have a little bit of a fight with the country bumpkins again, and basically Ed basically is going to use him as muscle. He's going to use him as muscle big time, and Grundy kind of thinks of him as his friend because he's simple, he's still learning, and he just wants someone to tell him what's going on and like who he is and stuff like that. And he's kind of innocent at this point. He just doesn't know what's happening, and he's super strong and all the rest of it. And Ed takes him to a fight club, and obviously he's just gonna own in this fight club. And then they go to this Cherry to fight, and she says, "Oh, I'll send you to the doc to patch him up because he got burnt from the country bumpkins." And guess who's the doc? It's Tompkins. It's Lee Tompkins. And like she's all like dressed up in leather, and it's like, okay, so we're going this road, are we? Like, I'm gonna drink my problems away. I'm gonna be basically what frickin' Jim did when he became a bounty hunter and all that. It's just like it gets old. It's an old thing. Like, she's in this frickin' like fight club bar. She's doc in the fight club bar, and I mean, it's going a little more closer to what her her character will eventually be, which is like this sort of doctor in in the bad parts of town. She tries to help people there and stuff like that. So she's clearly, they're trying to show that she's not afraid of these people and stuff like that. And she's just pouring liquor over guys' wounds and drinking some and stuff. And it's like, okay, we get it, Lee. You're damaged. You're still dealing with the whole emotions of all this, of the Tetch virus and stuff that brought out in you. And I swear though, if she keeps going on about Jim destroying her and all the rest of it, I'd just be like, can we just get past this, please? Just move on. Like, I was kind of hoping that Lee had just drifted off for a little while. I didn't mind her, but I feel like she's served her purpose, and they need to move on with new characters now. And we got Sophia now, and it's like, we don't need a whole Jim and Lee thing again. We don't need another one. And yeah, I mean, like, overall, the episode was solid. It was a solid episode. No Victor Zsasz, which was a little bit disappointing because Victor's been like kind of a, he's been a little bit of a, bright spot in all these episodes, which I was quite happy with. And I was hoping he would, be in most of the episodes and throw his little quick little lines in there and stuff like that. But none this time. Bullock just looks beaten as a captain. He's like, I'm done. Like, I gotta sign these things because the commissioner's telling me to. I gotta do my job. And like, Jim's arguing with him and stuff. He looks beaten as hell. He like, I'm done doing this stuff, sort of thing. And yeah, it was solid. It was a solid episode. It was a episode that tackled the big rule of Batman, and I dig that. I think by the end of it, though, it'll be all for naught. Like, this is just gonna give Bruce the feeling of killing someone, but in the end, Raz is gonna come back. Raz is gonna come back, and it's gonna be nothing. But yeah. All right, guys, that's it for us. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.